What is going on, everybody? We are at the start of day 4. It is Monday, so didn't make an update on day 2 or day 3 of the league. I was busy blasting, so I want to give a little bit of a recap of the progression of my solo self-found Holy Relic of Conviction build from day 2 and day 3. Tons of progression over the weekend. I got my 3 stone done, and I am only a handful of maps away from my Uber Elder. I have a bunch of fragments all stockpiled. I have all of the maps in my map device ready to go to get the remaining fragments that I need, and also the yellow juice that I will need to reroll my fragments to get my Uber Elder completed. The Uber Elder fight's probably going to be a little bit more challenging than everything else that I've done so far. I have almost all of the invites done. I have only one more synth map to collect in order to get my synth invite done. And then I obviously have to do the feared, but I got all of the other invites completed. All of those were pretty straightforward with the exception of Elder Slayers. Baron was kind of killing the Holy Relic minions pretty often, so you want to focus on Baron. But anyways, let's get back to the topic at hand. Let's talk about my day 2 progression. So from the previous video, I had made a PoB from league start to entering red maps. And then I had actually posted a couple of kill videos from the Quest Eater and Exarch. And then I have a Maven video that I will be putting out along with the PoB that I had for Maven. But let's just talk about the progression on the character. So from this PoB, this is the end of day 2 PoB. So essentially the changes from when I had started red map into end of day 2, which I had already completed everything up until Quest Eater and Exarch. The main changes from that league start PoB were, the biggest change was actually this amulet that dropped. So I got an Eternal Struggle drop from my Quest Polaric invite, and the increased effect of non-cursed auras from your skills implicit is extremely strong on a lot of other builds, but not so much this build because we don't have very many non-cursed auras. I actually, after getting this amulet, I actually switched my aura. The only aura that I was using, which was applicable, is Flesh and Stone. It's got the aura tag, but like Tempest Shield, it's not an aura. And then also Arctic Armor, not an aura. So what I ended up doing later on was switching out the Flesh and Stone and also the Arctic Armor for Malevolence so that I could make use of the increased effect of non-cursed aura, since Malevolence is an aura. But the most important part about this amulet is that increased effect of non-cursed auras from your skills is a Searing Exarch dominant modifier, which means that I have 15% cull, which is kind of insane on this build. Since we're a dot build, getting cull anywhere you can is very important. I think most people will try to get it on their Spectres or AG. Other item that I got changed from the league start PoB to the end of day 2 was just these gloves. These gloves aren't great, and had a couple of questions of like, oh, you've got all these open bench crafts. Like I got open bench crafts all over the place. The reason why I haven't done it is because I'm kind of strapped on currency right now, just trying to get my map completion done, and I didn't want to use currency on my gear. When I was having no problems killing stuff, my defenses were perfectly fine, so I was like, I'm not even going to worry about changing my gear and getting some additional implicit or additional bench crafts. I even had 17 Chaos Res, which is, I can get more Chaos Res crafts, but I was like, I didn't have any of the Chaos Orbs to spare. I guess I could have done the lower level crafts, but anyways, that's why if you were to look at my PoBs, I have a whole bunch of open bench crafts because I just didn't think that I needed it. The build was doing perfectly fine without it. But anyways, these gloves, I just threw it on the tree, and the Genesis tree, there's a lot of videos out for that right now, but like basically I was just getting like chaos modifiers, life modifiers, and then like reduced attribute modifiers, and I was like, oh, let's just go ahead and go lean into the evasion energy shield bases I'll probably switch this, go to armor evasion since I have pretty high block now. So having two evasive mechanics, like block is technically it's an evasive mechanic, and then evasion is evasive. I'd rather have some actual mitigation. So this EHP is very misleading because it's block. PoB overvalues block in terms of EHP because once something is not blocked, you are getting one shot. So had some problems on day 3 going up until level 94. I think I died like 5 times at level 94 because I was trying to push a bunch of the originator maps for the challenges. So anyways. And then the only other change from the league start PoB to the end of day 2 was I spec'd really hard into Abyss. So I have a whole bunch of Abyss jewels. I think by this PoB, I might have only had like 70% or yeah, about 70% poison chance. So once I got to about 70, it started feeling pretty good in terms of the poison chance. Anyways, that's the end of day 2. So end of day 3 is, I have another PoB for that, but we'll just go into my current character. So from my current character, the main changes were, I changed my sword out, so I was like, let's see if I can get some attack speed on the sword. I ended up buying a Corsair sword from a vendor because I was like, oh, well, Corsair swords have a strength and dex requirement, and the APS on a base Corsair sword is 1.55, where a thrusting sword is 1.6. I was like, if I can just get attack speed on the Essence of Fear hit, then that actually ends up being a foil, being better than a foil without an attack speed roll. So got lucky. I don't have any essences, so I'll need to spec into essence, but this is a wailing essence, so this can be way better. But yeah, switch it out to this sword, mainly to get more attack speed, so that feels good. Chest piece is still the same chest piece from the League mechanic. This is going to be my next upgrade, most likely. Like I said, I'm thinking about going into armor energy shield. This shield is a recover energy shield on block shield. This actually dropped like this, so it was kind of a crazy pickup. Has the tier 2 life on there, has a T1 cold res, has some PDR on it, and then recover energy shield on block. I don't have a lot of energy shield here, so that's why I want to try to get a better chest piece to have a higher energy shield roll. Another option is I could actually probably just go straight into pure ES base, because if I go into pure ES base, I can get like 1,000 plus energy shield on it. So actually that might be what I end up doing to make more use of this recover energy shield when you block, but you know, just playing around with that idea. These were the gloves that I had yesterday. Once again, I have all these open bench crafts, so probably craft some defense on that or something, because it's a prefix. Boots, once again from the tree. These were a huge upgrade from the previous boots, because the previous boots that I had 25% MS, so 35% MS actually feels very good on this build. It was quite a bit of a difference in terms of move speed, very noticeable. And then I got a Darkness Enthroned. It's perfectly rolled, right? Perfectly rolled, 69 out of 100, perfect. I want to get a better one, so I'm still farming Abyss. Ended up putting some poison chance jewels in here. At this point, I am overcapped on poison chance. I think I have like 120 something, mainly because I'm still using chance to poison support. But I have a couple more sockets that don't have poison chance. Like I have a jewel socket here, no poison chance. I have a jewel socket here with no poison chance. They just have really good damage rolls, so it's gonna be hard to replace those. But it's gonna be something that I'll look to actually replace once I get an enhanced gem, because I'm not planning on getting a Diallas. I have my tree set up to try to get a Diallas. This more intelligence items does work with Diallas, even though the Diallas does not have any attribute requirements. It's because the game appears to be looking at the base intelligence requirements, not the actual intelligence requirements on the item, because I've gotten like 18 million tabulas. I've been selling them for usings, but you know, I've been getting a lot of tabulas, which, you know, are a simple robe base, which is an intelligence base that has no attributes. So that's still an assumption. It's very anecdotal. I don't have any sort of evidence other than the fact that I've been getting lots of tabulas from the tree. I don't really have any more crafts, but I'm going to try to get a Diallas here. I'm going to try to do it that way. The other option, which is what I'm planning on doing, is actually replacing this chance to poison with a level 4 enhanced support. I'm going to be running either altars or try to get an enhanced gem somewhere. I still have my Empower support leveling here. As you can see, I got a Maloney's drop, so I, put a 6-link bow or 6-socket bow in here, which it just dropped like this, and I was able to color a bunch of off colors on this to level all the gems that I'm going to need, because the next evolution is getting some AGs and Spectres going, so I'm leveling those gems. I'm leveling a whole bunch of Holy Relic gems to level 20 to hopefully get Temple Corrupt to get 21, 23. And then I'm leveling other gems and builds. I want to play Spectral Throw this league. I'm leveling this Awakened Lightning Pen because there's a challenge for it to level an Awakened Gem to 5. So I'm just putting this in my gear because I'm just going to end up completing that challenge just passively. So, also going into the skill gem changes, not very many changes here. Like I said before, I replaced my Arctic Armor and also my Skitterbots with Malevolence. So I can capitalize on the Eternal Struggle, increase effect on cursed auras. So that's really the only change. I still have casting damage taken. I threw Decoy Totem on here. This was actually mainly to get the Fakawai Raitua map completed. But a lot of people are saying that you can actually use Decoy Totem on the League mechanic. So I've been doing that too. So that's why the Decoy Totem's there. No changes on the skilled, the Holy Relic gem setup. No changes here. I threw Life Tap on there just to make things easier when I'm moving around. And then no changes to the Lancing Steel. So yeah, skills are pretty straightforward. I will be going into Spectres and AG next. Like I said before, I am leveling them in the offhand. In terms of the in terms of the graphs that I'm using the Heart of the Flame. This one has basically a guard skill, so that's just another layer of defense. And I'm also playing around with Glowing Silhouette. I did try the graph where it summons a bunch of minions when you use an offering skill, and they inflict brittle. The minions died very quickly, and I had like a level 29 gem, and they were just dying very, very quickly. So. Plus, I didn't really care much about brittle, so I was like, I would rather use the Glowing Silhouette, because the shock ground that it drops down, it puts a 15% shock on anything, so I'd rather just stick with the shock effect. I don't know, there's probably better options here. And then the last skill gem change that I want to talk about is my trigger. So I have Desecrate and Bone Offering. I was having a lot of issues with mana, so I'm self-casting my Despair. I did have Frost Bomb on here, but this is a pro tip here, okay? So I put the Flame Wall in there. You might be like, well, what are you doing with the Flame Wall? So there is only one MTX for the Lancing Steel of Spraying. It's this Temple Lancing Steel effect, okay? So I was getting bored with that, so I took the effect off, and I was like, hey, wait, I am triggering something, and I have technically an open gem, because I had Frost Bomb on there just to reduce life regenerate, and I have since leveled up my Rislatha, or I got Rislatha, so I have reduced life regenerate on like tanky monsters. But if you throw the Flame Wall in there, and then you put an MTX on your Flame Wall, for example, I have Transcendence Flame Wall effect, you can actually use that as your Lancing Steel MTX. So check out what my Lancing Steel looks like. Yo, look at that. It's like Celestial. So that's my Lancing Steel MTX. There's your pro tip for the day. If you take anything out of this video, just realize if you have slots on your trigger weapon, you can put any type of MTX on here you want. There's like a blue Flame Wall effect. Like, let's take a look at this thing. Look at that. A little wispy wisp. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, I'm recording this after the end of the video. I realized I didn't go over my gems, but anyways, let's get back to the rest of the video. That's the progression. I'll be dropping POBs. Also, there's going to be a Maven video out. I'll drop my POB from the Maven video there. If you have any questions, let me know. Here's my Atlas progression, 112 out of 115. I have all the base maps completed. Only missing Hollowed Ground, Coward's Trial, I believe, and Twilight Temple. So there's Twilight Temple there. Coward's Trial is like over here somewhere, but just missing those maps. If you're curious what my Atlas tree looks like, this is it right now. I have not used my other Atlas trees at all. These are all blank. typically on League Start, I try to get as many of these little adjacent nodes to progress up my tree as quickly as possible, but I'm going into Abyss nodes, going into Harvest nodes, and going to Eater nodes, along with all the boss drop stuff. So I did use these nodes to try to target farm for the remembered invite, but yeah, I have all the boss map drops. I don't know what I'm gonna go into long term. Probably stick with a harvest and maybe do, I don't know. I need to farm more clusters because my cluster is an 8 passive minion, so I want to try to get a 12 passive or at least more passives as possible. I still need to re-roll this cluster jewel. This cluster jewel is pretty horrible. I have it like this because when I got this cluster, I was just getting into maps. I didn't have any currency to roll them. And I still kind of don't have currency, so I'll be working on that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments or drop by the channel. Some of you guys have been dropping through and asking questions. That's been great. I have actually quite a few people in my chat now that are playing Holy Relic, so that's good. But anyways, hopefully I will have an Uber Elder kill video out. The biggest problem that I'm having when bossing on this build is when there's multiple targets out. Since the Holy Relics target the closest target to you, you need to be able to stand on top of the things that are that you're trying to kill. And the thing that I'm scared about the most in Uber Elder are the squids. So technically, and I don't know how this works with Holy Relic, but if you play on any other build on Uber Elder, you can still hit hit Elder or Shaper to proc on hit effects. And so if you can target them, then that leads me to believe that my Holy Relics could potentially be hitting Shaper and Elder depending on where I'm standing and completely ignoring the squids. So that's the part that I feel like, oh, hi Ilith. That's the part that I feel like I'm gonna have the most problems with. I hope I don't fail my first one, but you know, I have a pretty bad track record with Uber Elder on a League Start scenario. I end up getting to Uber Elder without the proper preparation, and I just end up face planting on the very first one. So hopefully that does not happen. But yeah, anyways, thanks for hanging out. I'll talk to you guys later. Look at the PoBs. If you have any questions, let me know. Peace out. Bye-bye.